I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs. Top of the mealtime to you. Today, we're celebrating St. Patrick's Day with recipes right from the end of the rainbow, from a reinvented Reuben to the perfect pie, even a Bailey's-based dessert. Guest today is someone who, like me, can trace their lineage back to the Emerald Isle. Chef McKenna Hale is a caterer, Coast Guard veteran, and partner at Seminole Irish Pub and Eatery, Mickey Quinn's. Welcome to the Dinner DeeAs kitchen, my friend. And also,
thank you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
This is going to be fun today. Chef McKenna is here to help us mark this beautiful day of St. Patrick's Day, which celebrates the patron saint of Ireland, who drove snakes out of Ireland and now drives up sails of green dye every March. In a moment, we get our corned beef and cabbage fix in an egg roll, and later we'll be making a hearty shepherd's pie and finding an excuse to use 2 types of booze in a Bailey's bread pudding drizzled with a Jameson caramel sauce. I can't wait for that.
Yes.
But first, we got to get into these egg rolls here.
Yes, we do.
All right.
This is our chopped up corned beef.
Okay.
Perfect for if you have leftovers.
Okay.
Chop it up, shredded Swiss cheese.
Love it.
Toss it in.
So we've got all of the basics so far right now kind of already working.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything.
It's super simple. It's like four ingredients, basically. Sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut.
I like to squeeze my sauerkraut out.
Why is that? If you put that into the egg roll, what's going to happen?
Oftentimes it'll break down your egg roll wrap.
Yeah.
And it gets soggy or just, it doesn't work so well.
That moisture is something that you want to avoid and trying to get as much moisture out of the squeezing process.
You're
here.
right, yep.
Okay.
So we're just going to add a little bit to here.
And I love what you just said a moment ago, too, because, like, you know, say, for instance, you already had your menu planned for St. Patrick's Day, but you had the leftover.
Right.
Perfect opportunity to say, how do I get another meal out of it?
Right. If you have, like, leftover corned beef and cabbage, this is such a fun little way to use that leftovers that you might have. So there's your sauerkraut and your cheese and your meat. And then you'll come over here and mix it all up. Before you know it, you lay out your egg roll wraps and we'll assemble them. Would you like to make one with me?
I would absolutely love to make one, and I want you to make them too, because to make Chef McKenna's magically delicious menu for your dinner, grab the recipes at dinnerdeas.com. Find us with your phone by scanning the QR code. Open up the camera app. Nothing special is needed. Just your regular camera as if you're taking a photo. And when you point it at your TV, if that box we have put in the corner down there is in frame and in focus, a link to us should appear right on your phone's screen. So yeah, I would absolutely love to help you with this.
All right, scoop out a little bit of mixture in your little egg roll wrap there.
What is the proper amount? Is this too much? Is this too little? What do you think?
You know, that seems about a good amount.
That's about good?
Yep, yep.
And where do you like to place it? Because you've already started with a nice diamond pattern here.
Correct.
Where does it go? In the middle?
Right in the center.
Right in the center. Okay.
Yep. Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay.
I'll get myself some too. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Right in the center there. All right, now the trick is you're gonna pull the top corner up.
Okay.
Okay, and then you wanna make it a little bit snug, but don't rip it, be careful.
Okay.
And then you're gonna do your corners like you would like a burrito.
Okay.
Yep, and then before you get too excited there, do you mind passing me the brush?
I absolutely can.
Thank you, sir. And then we'll just get the egg whites and put on the top here.
And now this is just the egg whites here because this is gonna act as a seal?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
And then you kind of just roll them up.
Boom. Like so?
Yep,
looks
great.
good?
Yep.
All right. What do we got to do with them next?
We gotta fry them off.
Oh, come on now.
And just cook them until they're golden brown.
I love it.
Super
While our
simple.
Reuben egg rolls get all golden, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, how to level up your lamb game with an authentic shepherd's pie ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day with an authentic Irish menu. Kinda. Thanks to Chef McKenna Hale from Mickey Quinn's Irish Pub in Seminole. I say kinda because before the break, we made these reinvented Reubens as egg rolls. And in a moment, we'll be serving up a shepherd's pie. Then later, we even have dessert with a Bailey's bread pudding. Before the break, we squeezed some sauerkraut to have the cabbage, to combine with the corned beef, some Swiss cheese, and then wrapped it all in an egg roll wrapper, sealing it with a little egg white and fry those fellas up for about 5 minutes. It's so good.
Would you care?
I would absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, you got to go with it too. I can't eat alone.
Yeah,
Please,
but
ladies first.
We have to have the Thousand Island dressing on top. Here,
Well,
let me
it
get you
could.
hooked up.
I mean, it could be a reimagined
Look at that. Oh,
Reuben here. Cheers.
egg rolls. Cheers.
An
That's
egg roll.
it.
Cheers, right there. It's so good. And it's so fun too to be able to celebrate a really great sandwich already on its own. But who doesn't love an egg roll? They're just fun. Next up, a recipe literally from Ireland from Chef McKenna's grandmother, Nell, as we're making her family's version of shepherd's pie. During the break, Chef McKenna got started by cooking down onions, garlic, and carrots, then adding ground lamb, parsley, rosemary, thyme, and a little salt and pepper. And it already smells fantastic. It looks fantastic,
Yeah.
but it's not ready just yet. So what do we need to do next?
Right. So we have our meat cooked. We're gonna go ahead and get our Worcestershire.
Okay.
Add that to it. And I always like to keep a little bit of the fat reserve
Okay.
because when you add the flour, it'll make like a roux and
Absolutely.
create like a gravy.
Absolutely. So it's going to help thicken this up nicely.
Absolutely. And then we have our tomato paste here.
Okay.
Real good, real good. And then we're gonna add our beef base. Oh, let me stir this first.
Little stir?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to clump the flour. Sometimes that tends to happen if you're not careful. So give this a stir. Kind of incorporate those ingredients well. And then we'll add the broth here in a second.
Now, did you get to cook with your grandma a lot?
I did, and it was
Yeah.
the most fun time of my life. I remember those going to the kitchen with her, and she would make the best food.
Really?
Oh my gosh,
And
really.
this was one of those dishes?
This is one of those dishes.
That's so cool.
Meat and potatoes.
There's
All right.
something beautiful and inherent about the simplicity of it.
Really though, yeah. Sometimes less is more when cooking in the kitchen.
It really is.
All right, we can go ahead and add that broth if you'd like
Okay.
to help me.
Love to.
Go ahead and give it a swirl. Beautiful, beautiful.
You want me to go all in?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That's good.
Boom.
Send it. Thank you, sir. And then we'll incorporate all that in. It'll start to make a delicious gravy-like consistency. And then we'll see here. I got my
Got your peas.
peas. Yep. And then we'll get that simmering.
All right.
There we go.
Next
Beautiful.
up, I mean, we got potatoes. All right, so what did you already do with these potatoes?
Okay, so the potatoes have already been cooked. Boiled them in a little bit of salt water. And then we're going to get our, so we can say butter.
Okay, butter here.
Butter. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
And then we'll go ahead and add the cream.
Okay.
And fun fact, also trick of the trade, leave your butter out, leave the cream out. Makes for a creamier consistency.
That's the way to do it. All right.
May I have your masher?
I absolutely can. Pass this over.
Thank you. Cool. All right, and we're gonna give this a quick little mashing before we add the rest of the stuff.
Okay. If you want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day without having to dye your pool green, grab Chef McKenna's recipes at dinnerdeals.com. Scan that QR code with your phone to find us and follow along while we cook.
All right, and then I think we can probably start incorporating.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead and add our cheese in there.
All
The
right.
cheese is a nice little touch because it adds a nice browning when you put it in the oven. So you get a nice little
But
crispy brown.
what type of cheese went in?
Oh, that was Parmesan.
Parmesan cheese.
Yep, freshly shredded. Yep, and then a little bit of salt, a little bit
Straight
of
from Dublin. Just straight in.
something like that.
You said it was a modern iteration. I'm taking what Grandma had.
Yeah,
and she-
we're refining it a little.
I
you know?
like it. I like it.
I bet you could probably use any kind of cheese, honestly.
I love it. And you just went with a little bit of salt there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then that's my garlic powder.
Okay.
Cool. And then we'll do a little bit of pepper.
Okay.
A pinch of pepper.
Pinch of pepper here.
Beautiful. Yep.
There we go.
And then we'll get that a good whirl. Let's go ahead and get rid of this masher because we don't
Absolutely.
need that bad boy anymore.
Make a trade.
Yeah, thank you. All right, cool. And then we can just kind of incorporate all this together until they're nice and fluffy. And then we'll be adding it to our delicious mix. All right, that's looking pretty darn good. What do you think?
I'm ready. I mean, I'm ready for these two to,
To
come to the altar and
to
just be like,
unify.
without a doubt. Look at that.
Let's do it. Okay, cool. So let's have you plop her on top.
Okay.
Cool.
Any special technique that you like to use?
We'll keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Okay.
Yep. You can get real fancy and pipe it on there. I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
But we're cooking from the home.
We're cooking from the home.
That's it. Cool.
And then we're gonna bake this right into the skillet here.
Yep. Absolutely. Perfect. Well, you're a good help here in the kitchen. I appreciate it.
You know, I got to put in my my day's work
Hey,
here.
teamwork makes a dream work, right?
You know what it is? It's for our past generations of our Irish brethren that we have to just say, hey, we could do this for you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Smear it all up. And it'll be nice too, when you put this in the oven, you'll have a little bit of bubblies on the side with a crispy edge.
And that cheese right there, come on now.
just saying.
It's already gonna bring a nice little bit more salt behind it and help with the color and caramelization.
Yep.
And we gotta make sure, no bald spot here. Bring it all together. Spread. Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be fantastic.
This is going to be fantastic.
All right.
While this is going to go into the oven, we're taking a break. When we come back, we raid the liquor cabinet for a decadent dessert ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Happy St. Patrick's Day to anyone watching over in Ireland, anyone with Irish heritage, and most importantly, anyone who loves good food. Chef McKenna Hale is with us today to share recipes to celebrate the patron saint of the old country, which are also delicious ideas for dinner wherever your family is from. So far, we've made Reuben egg rolls. Then before the break, we started on a shepherd's pie recipe from Chef McKenna's grandma, Nell. And in a moment, we'll be baking a bread pudding. Before the break, we finished the filling for our shepherd's pie, adding Worcestershire sauce, then flour and tomato paste, some beef broth and peas, and let that simmer while we made the mash to top it with. Regular peeled and boiled potatoes that were drained, mashed with a little bit of butter, heavy cream, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then some untraditional Parmesan cheese that we spread all over it, the filling, got it into the oven, and that's where it's been, because now we can start thinking of dessert.
Something sweet.
Something sweet. All right, so what are we going to be making here, and what have you started already on?
So I just scrambled up my eggs.
Okay.
We're gonna add some evaporated milk to it.
Okay.
This is the Bailey's bread pudding.
Bailey's bread pudding.
Gotta have the Bailey's, babe.
Okay, come on now.
I know it. It's really good. Okay, and then this is my sweetened condensed milk.
Okay.
Add that in there, a little stickiness in there. Okay, and then we have our, let's get that all in there. Cool.
All right.
All right, and then we're gonna kind of mix that all together. And this will be your wet mix to add to the toasted bread cubes.
Now, what kind of bread cubes do you have? Bread cubes do you have here?
So you can use really whatever you like.
Okay.
However, for this specific recipe, I utilized Italian loaf and brioche.
Okay, nice.
So kind of sweet, right? The brioche loaf is really great because it's kind of sweet and fluffy. It's really nice.
Cubed them up, put them into the oven.
Yep.
That was it, just to get them toasted.
Just to get them toasted.
Very cool. Very cool.
It gives them more texture when you go to cook off the actual bread pudding.
Love it.
It's not mushy. You got bread chunks in there. All right, so that's kind of combined here pretty well, and then we're going to add the vanilla extract. Give that a stir. And then our favorite ingredient.
Gotta
Would
get
you
that.
like to do the honors?
I'd absolutely love to.
Do a little chug-a-lug of that.
A little bit here. So we got a little bit of the
All right.
Bailey's. Tell me when.
Yes, sir. And I think that would be good.
That's it.
And it's nice because it adds that little Irish cream flavor to it.
Absolutely.
And don't worry, the alcohol does cook out.
Okay. So it's good for everybody at the house
The
then.
kids, yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
it
anybody
was
in the
just a
house.
little bit for us.
it doesn't
You
hurt,
can go a
man.
little bit
Yeah.
heavier if you want, a little light if you don't. So.
All right, cool. So now we have our mixture.
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and toss in these breadcrumbs here. And at first it'll look like quite a bit, but
Sure.
once you allow this to soak, it'll smooth out. Yeah. It'll condense down a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you might toss that for me?
Absolutely. You can smell the Bailey's right now.
Okay, yeah, you
It's
can.
like it's so inviting. It really kind of is fun.
Homey. There we go.
Just a little bit of that vanilla too. You get.
Uh-huh.
It's nice.
Yeah. All right.
What are we gonna do next with it?
We're just gonna pop it into our pan,
Okay.
and then we're gonna let it sit to let it soak in all that good stuff.
And then you've already looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
you've already got this pre-greased for us, so that way then it's easy.
Oh my goodness, yes, that is one thing you do not want to forget to do is grease your pan, because it will be sticky.
Okay. Now,
Perfect, perfect.
does this go straight into the oven now, or?
No, sir. So
No.
you'll let it soak for about 15 minutes. Let that bread
Okay.
soak up all those juices. If you pop it in now, it may be a little too crunchy. It may not be too palatable. Oh. All right, perfect. But that looks great. So
I love it, but luckily with the magic of television, you already have one that you already made.
imagine that.
Imagine that. All right, so that one's in the oven, ready to come out?
Yeah, let me go at it.
Cool. If you've got any Baileys left from Christmas and want this for your dessert, grab Chef McKenna's recipe at dinnerdeals.com. Just scan the QR code to find your way to us fast.
All right, so this is the finished product here.
That's the finished product. And like, look, I mean, like it absorbed everything.
It does, but when you slice into it, you'll still see all that moisture. It'll be real moist.
Oh.
Very good.
Oh, but there's something else that we're gonna be making with this though.
Oh, yes.
All right, so what are we doing next?
We are going to be making our Jameson caramel sauce.
Okay, cool. So we got Bailey's over here, Jameson over here. We're just having an Irish party over here now.
That's it. That's the idea. It's St. Patrick's Day.
All right, so
Cool. Sugar
sugar.
goes in. Water and corn syrup.
Now, we were having a little fun off camera here.
Yes.
Sometimes it's, caramel's not the easiest thing to make at the house.
It is, yes. It is I would say it's more difficult. Let's just say this.
It's not possible, but it's something that you really actually want to make sure that you follow it, don't run away from it.
Don't turn your back on the caramel sauce.
Totally be engaged in this whole process because right now
100%.
you just started with sugar, a little bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
Was that corn syrup you also added?
Corn syrup, and that helps to keep the sugar from crystallizing, kind of
Absolutely.
like a stabilizer. So you're just going to quickly do a stir on this, but then once you go to get it actually cooking, you don't want to mess with it much. You just let it, sit and let it watch it until it's ready to go.
Now, what type of heat do you like to use for this?
Like a medium to higher heat.
Yep.
That way it gets it going. Okay, so we're all incorporated, and we're just going to kind of let that cook, really.
And what are we looking for? What should this be taking on?
So you'll first see it go transparent, and then it'll slowly darken into an amber color. And you want it to be like a dark amber color. You just don't want it black.
All right.
Because that'll mean it's burnt. So we'll keep an eye on that going.
All right, sounds like a plan. We're going to keep an eye on that one because we're taking one last break. When we come back, we check on the progress of our St. Patrick's Day pie ahead. Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. It's that rare annual event when dinner time and St. Patrick's Day happen at the exact same time. So Chef McKenna Hale is here with us from Seminole Irish Pub, Mickey Quinn's. Before the break, we made this beautiful bread pudding, beating eggs, adding condensed milk, evaporated milk, vanilla extract, and Bailey's, pouring that all over the bread, which we toasted. Let that sit before it baked in the oven while we got started on a caramel sauce, heating sugar, corn syrup, water, medium heat, and look at the color change here. It is now absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
But
that amber color is correct.
That is the color that you want.
That's the color you want. And you want to keep it hot, so when it gets to that color, you remove it, and then you're going to immediately add your cream. Now be careful when you do this. It's going to bubble and splatter, but that's how you know you're doing it right.
And that's why work within having a whisk in one hand and the liquid in the other and move quickly.
Correct.
That's what it's all about.
That's it. Ooh.
Just keep whisking. Take it on, take it a little bit off the heat there. Thin it out there. Just keep whisking. You got
There it
this. You got
goes.
this.
It's coming.
Yeah, you got this. Put it back on. Keep whisking. Okay, you got this. And let's bring it back off a little bit here. Temper it a little bit. Bring it on, bring it off. Because this is not easy.
This is the hardest sauce.
This is very
Yeah.
hard. This
It
is hard
is.
for anybody.
Yeah.
All right, let's put it back on. Finish that up a little bit because I can still see it right there. Make it a little thinner. Keep going with it. What do you think? You think you feel good about bringing in the butter now?
I think so. Should we
Okay.
add it?
Yeah.
Okay, add the thing of tap of butter.
And this is one you gotta keep an eye on. This
You
is not one
absolutely-
you can just think casually about this and be prepared. Take it on, take it off. That way we can be able to bring all this together because you want that silky caramel consistency.
Yes.
But you want to make sure that you're doing this right. And you've got the color there. You think you're ready to add some of that the Jameson there?
I think we're ready.
Very good. I'll whisk while you get the Jameson
That
going.
sounds great. Thank you. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thanks, Chef.
Worst comes to worst. You got an incredible bread pudding to work with this one here.
Yep.
And a bread or a shepherd's pie that I'm bringing out from the oven here for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, look at the colors on this.
Is it nice and crispy?
Oh my gosh, this is golden brown. Look at this. This looks gorgeous.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
beautiful.
All right.
That's a nice caramel sauce
The
right
caramel
there.
sauce is good?
Caramel sauce
Come on
is
now.
perfect.
Come
Thanks
on
for
now.
the help.
Hey, I got you. I got you.
Beautiful.
All right, what's next then?
All right, let's go ahead and put a little drizzle of this sweet stuff over top, and that'll be a wrap on the dessert. Look at that. Oh my goodness. If that doesn't scream heaven.
While you're doing that, I'm going in for a nice scoop here of that shepherd's pie here.
Beautiful.
Look at this.
Meaty potato deliciousness.
Thanks again to Chef McKenna. A link to Mickey Quinn's Pub and Eatery is at dinnerdeals.com, along with a printable download of all our Irish recipes. I'm Jeff Philbin. Have a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day, and see you next time with another idea for dinner, as we call them, Dinner Dias.